If you were just diagnosed with bipolar disorder and you are holding that paperwork feeling unsure, scared, or perhaps even a strange sense of relief, you are in the right place. In the next few minutes, I am going to explain exactly what this means in plain English, why your brain works the way it does, and give you 3 tiny specific steps that can make your next 7 days feel significantly steadier. I am Clara, your guide at Bipolar Clarity. Let's make this simple, human, and practical. Before we dive in, I need to remind you that I am a passionate educator and an advocate, but I am not a doctor. This video is for educational purposes and is not medical advice. Always check with your local healthcare professionals for your specific needs. Let's start with the elephant in the room. What actually is bipolar disorder? You might have heard the word used casually to describe the weather or a moody boss, but the medical reality is different. Bipolar disorder is a biological condition where your brain's energy and mood regulation system has a wider range than the average person. Think of it like a thermostat. Most people have a thermostat that keeps their emotional temperature within a steady range, say between 68 and 72 degrees. If something good happens, they go up to 75. If something sad happens, they drop to 65. But eventually, the thermostat pulls them back to the center. With bipolar disorder, that thermostat is sensitive. It can get stuck on heat, driving your energy way up, or stuck on cool, dropping your energy way down. The key idea here is that these are episodes. They are distinct periods of time. They are not who you are. You are not your diagnosis. You are a person who has a mood system that sometimes runs hot or cold. Let's quickly translate the medical terms you might hear so they aren't so intimidating. When the thermostat gets stuck on high, that is mania or hypomania. Hypomania is the milder version. Your energy goes up. You might need less sleep, but still feel totally awake. Your thoughts might race. You might talk faster than usual, or you might feel incredibly confident and productive. It can actually feel good at first, which is why it is tricky. Mania is hypomania turned up louder. This is where judgment gets shaky, sleep might disappear almost entirely, and impulsive decisions about money or safety can happen. When the thermostat gets stuck on low, that is depression. In bipolar disorder, this isn't just sadness, it is a physical heaviness. It can look like extreme fatigue, slow thinking, a loss of interest in everything you usually love, and feeling physically stuck. There is also a third state called mixed features. This is the most confusing one. Imagine feeling all the agitation and restlessness of the high, but all the negativity and hopelessness of the low at the same time. You are tired but wired. If that sounds familiar, take a deep breath. You are not broken. You are just experiencing a mixed state, and it is a known part of this pattern. So why does this happen? Why you? This is where we need to look at the stress vulnerability model. It is a bit of a mouthful, but the concept is simple. Imagine everyone carries a bucket. That bucket represents how much stress your brain can handle before it overflows into a mood episode. Research suggests that for people with bipolar disorder, the size of that bucket is partly determined by genetics. If you have family members with mood conditions, your bucket might naturally be a little smaller. But genes are not the whole story. The things that fill the bucket are stress, disrupted sleep, chaotic routines, and substance use. When the bucket overflows, the thermostat breaks, and an episode starts. This is actually good news. You cannot change your genetics, you cannot change the size of the bucket, but you can control what goes into it. You have influence over your routine, your environment, and your skills. Now that we have the context, let's move into the practical roadmap. I want to break this down into 3 core pillars of stability. These are the 3 areas where you will build your new toolkit. After we cover these, I will give you the 3 immediate homework steps to take this week. Pillar number 1 is the foundation, or your biological rhythm. Your brain loves predictability. There is a clock deep inside your brain called the circadian rhythm. In bipolar disorder, this clock is fragile. If you stay up 2 hours late one night, it might confuse your clock for 3 days. The single most powerful anchor you can give your brain is a consistent wake-up time. Not a bedtime, a wake-up time. When you wake up at the same time every day and get light into your eyes, it sends a strong signal to your brain that says, "We are safe, we know what time it is." Many people try to fix their sleep by forcing themselves to go to bed early. That usually just leads to staring at the ceiling. Instead, focus on the morning. Even if you slept poorly, get up at your target time. It might be hard for a few days, but eventually your body will get hungry for sleep at the right time in the evening. Pillar number 2 is the treatment plan. This is usually a team effort involving you, a prescriber, and a therapist. I want to do a quick myth check here. Some people worry that if they take medication, they will lose their spark or their creativity. This is a very common fear. However, what most people actually find is that untreated episodes consume their energy. The chaos eats up their creativity. When you study the extremes, your true personality and talents can actually show up more reliably. The goal of medication is not to turn you into a robot. It is to put a floor under the depression and a ceiling over the mania so you can live in the house. If you are just starting this journey, think of your doctor as a consultant. You are the CEO of your body. Your job is to bring them data so they can give you the best advice. We will talk about how to collect that data in a moment. Pillar number 3 is early warning skills. Think of this like weather radar. A thunderstorm rarely appears out of nowhere. First, the wind changes, then the clouds darken, then the temperature drops. Your mood episodes have warning signs too. We call these prodromal symptoms. If you can catch an episode when it is just a little rain cloud, it is much easier to manage than a full hurricane. What would you see if an up was starting? For many people, the very first sign is that colors look brighter or music sounds better. Maybe you find yourself texting 5 friends at once. Maybe you start a new hobby at 11 p.m. What would you see if a down was starting? Maybe you stop replying to texts. Maybe doing the dishes feels like climbing a mountain. Maybe you start waking up at 4 a.m. and cannot get back to sleep. Your signs are personal to you. Discovering them is a superpower. Now, let's talk about how this applies to your real life, your work, your relationships, and your social world. Many newly diagnosed adults worry they will have to choose between their health and their career. In most cases, you can do both, but you might need to work differently. You need to become an expert in energy management. If you know that back-to-back meetings leave you wired and agitated, you might need to schedule a 15-minute quiet block every 2 hours to reset your nervous system. If you know that working late nights triggers hypomania, you might need to set a hard boundary that you do not check email after 7 p.m. You are not being lazy. You are protecting your asset. In relationships, the people who love you might be scared, confused, or guilty. They often want to help, but do not know how. You can help them by giving them a specific role. Try using a script like this. I am learning that when I stop sleeping, it is a sign I might be getting unwell. If you notice I'm sending emails at 2 a.m., you have permission to gently ask me how my sleep has been. You don't need to fix it. Just remind me to check in with my doctor. Clear roles turn worry into support. Now, I promised you 3 tiny, doable steps you can try this week. Most people try to change everything at once: diet, exercise, sleep, meditation, and they burn out in 3 days. We are not going to do that. We are going to do 3 micro steps. Step 1, the wake-up anchor. Choose a steady wake-up time that you can realistically hit 7 days a week. It does not have to be 6 o'clock a.m. If 8 o'clock a.m. works for your life, pick 8 a.m. Set your alarm. Put the alarm across the room so you have to stand up to turn it off. As soon as you are up, turn on a lamp or open the curtains. That light is medicine. Do this for 1 week. That is it. Step 2, the snapshot. You do not need to write a 10-page diary entry every day. We just need data. Open the Notes app on your phone or get a small notebook. Every evening, write down 3 numbers and 1 phrase. Number 1, how many hours did I sleep? Number 2, on a scale of 1 to 10, what was my energy level today? Number 3, on a scale of 1 to 10, how irritable was I? And finally, 1 phrase about a behavior. For example, spent too much money or couldn't focus on reading. If you do this for 2 weeks, patterns will jump off the page. You will see things like, oh, look, my irritability goes up the day after I sleep less than 6 hours. That is gold for your doctor. Step 3, the safety net. Pick 1 trusted person, a partner, a parent, a best friend. Tell them you are working on learning your patterns. Ask them if they are willing to be your reality check. You can say, I'm learning to manage this new diagnosis. Sometimes I might not see the changes in my mood. If I seem much faster or much slower than usual, would you feel comfortable telling me? Just having 1 person who knows the plan decreases the sense of isolation. I want to pause here for a moment and address something very serious. Bipolar depression can be profound. If the topic of suicide or self-harm is part of your story, I want you to hear this with care. If you are struggling or having thoughts of ending your life, please know that these thoughts are often symptoms of the condition, not a reflection of your truth. They are signals that your brain is under extreme stress and you deserve immediate support. In the US and Canada, you can call or text 988 to connect with the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline any time of day. It is free and confidential. If you are outside of North America, please look up your local emergency number or crisis line right now and save it in your phone. You are allowed to ask for help, and you are worth saving. As we wrap up, I want to address the what now feeling. It is normal to feel like you are mourning the version of yourself you thought you were. You might feel grief. That is okay. But remember, this diagnosis is not a life sentence. It is a map. Before you had the diagnosis, you were driving through the mountains in the dark without headlights. You were crashing, and you didn't know why. Now you have the map, you have the headlights. You know where the curves are. It takes time to learn how to drive this car, but plenty of people with bipolar disorder live rich, full, successful lives. They lead companies, raise families, create art, and contribute to their communities. They just have to be a little more careful about their sleep than everyone else. Here is a quick summary of your homework. 1. Pick your wake-up time and stick to it. 2. Start your mood snapshot note tonight. 3. Identify your safety net person. If you are feeling overwhelmed, just pick step 1, just the sleep. That is enough for today. I know remembering these steps can be hard when your brain is tired. If it helps, I send out a short email every week with just 1 tiny, doable step, like the sleep anchor we talked about today, so you don't have to carry it all in your head. It is free, and it is designed to be calm, not cluttered. You can find the link to join us right in the description below. We have a lot more to cover on this channel about specific types of medication, how to manage relationships, and how to handle work. If you found this helpful, please subscribe so you don't miss those practical tools. For your next step, I highly recommend you watch the video appearing on your screen now. It dives deeper into the specific differences between bipolar 1 and bipolar 2, so you can understand exactly where you fit on the spectrum. Thanks for watching, and remember, steady is the goal, and you can get there.